Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream. Today is Sunday, June 8th, at least for me here in Chicago. How's everyone doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Universal Being, AR0407. I'm used to always just calling you A, but hello. Spike, Aisha, Kat, Wanda, Star Sister, UA, Noreen, Mellymel 36, Kevin, Paradoxical, Jordan 23, Sydney, Andre. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see you here. Thank you for being here. Tonight is another week of getting the grind in, another week of figuring out my health and wellness journey, figuring out what my fasting protocol is, how I'm going to get down to the last amount of fat that I'm trying to burn off while trying to put the muscle on. Also, before I kind of continue on with that, for anybody who's watching this, if you watch the intro, I updated the names finally. I get really bad about updating those names, but if you're ever wondering how those names are up there, those are people who are part of the Finally Fasting fam. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go to the link in the description, or you can hit the join, I think, button, whatever it is. But for those that have or who are part of the Finally Fasting fam, thank you for your support. As always, I appreciate you. Appreciate you all for supporting me in that way. But to get back to where I'm at, or what is happening this week. So the title of this live stream is pretty simple: from long fasts to smart refeeds or smarter refeeds. And this is pretty much my journey now, transitioning into maintenance. Maintenance is something that I have teetered back and forth with, because even though I was able to lose 80 pounds at the very beginning of my journey through fasting, doing 90 plus hour fasts, doing 120 plus hour fasts, even though I was able to lose 80 pounds in the first 142 days, which is less than 5 months, I have always gone up and down with that weight. Not by huge amounts, but when I got down to around 140 pounds, then I would occasionally bump that up to 150, sometimes to 155, and then swing it back down through longer fasts, get that weight back up, and then bring it down again. Over time, today is day 581 of my journey, a lot has changed. The way that I fast has changed. The way that I have eaten has changed. The way that I exercise, the way that I do cardio and lift, the way that I think about things has changed over time. There has been a big shift for me to find a lot more balance in what I'm doing. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to push a longer fast in the future. It doesn't mean that I'm eventually going to change the way I eat, or it's not like I'm never going to have big 6,000 calorie refeeds again. What I'm trying to say is, over time, I have learned a lot about myself to change what I'm doing, to find a lot more balance, to be able to eat more often, to be able to fast less, and to also help avoid the big swings of gaining 10, 15 pounds and then losing it again through longer fasts. Again, it doesn't mean that it's going to be that way forever, but I'm going to get into that. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to what I'm doing and what the approach is moving forward. And part of what I want to be able to do is to show you all and help you all figure out how to find that balance within yourself as well. If you're somebody that is good at fasting, like I'm good at fasting, and this isn't me trying to flex on it, right? But it is my strength. Fasting is a huge strength of mine. Now, one of my biggest weaknesses is my diet, the way I eat. That's always been the hardest part for me. And whether you're good at fasting or you have difficulties when it comes to fasting, or whether you're really good at your nutrition, the way you're eating, or if that's what your weak part is, I want to have a conversation about that. I want to help you find a balance and figure out how to put an approach through that can work for you at the same time. So, when it comes to a lot of where I'm at today, a lot of my success, I attribute it to being accountable, to not hiding when I mess up, to not pretending or to pretend that it never happened. One of the biggest issues with me in the past, when I would start to gain weight, for example, let's say I put a good 90-hour fast in. Think of yourselves about your fasting. Think about the last time you put a really good fast in that you were proud of, and then you refed. And then think about what happened after that. Did you put another long fast in? Or if you didn't put a long fast in, were you able to get a shorter fast in, but then your eating was in control? If so, that's great. But think about if it wasn't that way. Think about getting a long fast in and then you refed and you thought you had a handle on it. And then the next day it was out of control. And then the next day it was out of control. And when I talk about out of control, that can mean a lot of different things for people. Out of control can be you overeat and you find yourself not being able to stop. Out of control can be you ate things that you know you shouldn't have, and then you feel guilty about it. And then you find yourself eating all of those things that you told yourself that you wouldn't. It could be something as simple as, yeah, you know what? I ended up eating foods that I didn't want to eat. And like me, I would hide myself in my apartment so that nobody could see. I would keep it a secret. I would not be accountable. So when I talk about things like that, when I talk about my success and accountability, it's because I no longer let those things happen. And it doesn't mean that I don't overeat. It doesn't mean that I don't like it doesn't mean that I'll never eat things that I know that I shouldn't be eating. But what I'm saying is I'm accountable for it. Instead of running away from it, instead of pretending that it never happened, instead of making it a secret so that nobody will know what I'm doing and then feeling shame and guilt about it, instead, what I'm doing is I show up for it. And you know that because I'm here not every single day, but I'm here every single Sunday. I post videos to let everybody know how accountable I am and what I'm doing. So I want you to understand that if part of your struggle right now is that shame, if part of that struggle right now is because you're hiding, because you're pretending it didn't happen, I want you to understand that that's what this Sunday live stream is for. Part of this Sunday live stream is to show accountability, to share what you're going through, to share whether you're succeeding or whether you're having a struggle. And if you're having a struggle, there's nothing wrong with it. I want you to understand that there's no judgment on this end. I'm not here to put judgment on anyone. I want you to understand that what you're doing right now, whether you're struggling, if you're having a struggling moment, if you're hiding, if you're making it a secret, is maybe it's time to let that part go. And if this community is helpful for you, share that. Share your progress. Share what you're doing. And maybe that's, I know it sounds silly to maybe some people, but for others, being able to share part of that, like, yeah, I fucked up today. Yeah, it was a hard day today. Yeah, I overate today. Yeah, I ate things that I wasn't the proudest of, but you know what? I'm not hiding from it. I'm not going to pretend it never happened. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to miss the Sunday live stream because I'll just be back next week when I feel better about it. Doing those kinds of things, not being accountable for your actions, is going to keep you cycling, is going to keep you doing the same things over and over and over again instead of just realizing, yeah, it was a rough day today. Okay. Are you here for it? Can you be accountable for it? Can you share your story with others so that others can help you realize, yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. If you think about when you hide, when you run away, when you pretend it didn't happen, how long does that go for? Does it go on for days? Does it go on for weeks? Does it go on for months? For me, it went on for years. If you have been around this channel long enough, I lost all this weight in 2019, 2020, and then in the middle of 2021, I left YouTube because I ran away, because I was shameful and I felt guilty. And honestly, part of me just wanted to eat and binge and cope with my feelings through food. And not being accountable is what got me to gain all the weight back. And sure enough, the moment I decided to come back on YouTube and put accountability back on the table is what got me to lose this weight. But not only lose the weight in the first 5 months, in less than 5 months, but to keep it off now for as long as I have. Everyone, it's been 581 days. It's been a year and a half of keeping this weight off. And part of that success is because I am accountable and I show up. If you are here right now and that is the hard part for you, show up in the comments, share with what you're doing. If you need an accountability partner, there is an entire community of people here who share that accountability. If you need extra accountability, yes, I do offer coaching. If you want to have an accountability partner, let me be your accountability partner. If you want to join the Wednesday night live streams where it's an accountability group of people, join the Wednesday night live stream, be part of the Finally Fasting fam and see if that's helpful for you. Before I can continue, there's a $20 donation from Wanda. As always, Wanda, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you as always. Every Sunday, Wanda with a huge donation. Thank you. Wanda with a $20 donation says, I was living my best life at our Harbor Fest festival this past weekend. Wine, cheese, funnel cakes, and more. That sounds amazing. Why didn't I get invited, Wanda? 7 hours in a 48 or 7 hours into a 48-hour fast. I had fun, but I'm back on track. Thank you, Jerome, for showing us how to do it. You know what? Not only don't even put the thanks just on me. Thank you for also showing your accountability and sharing with other people that, hey, I can still enjoy my life. I can still attend a social event. And this is something I'm going to talk about today as well, is being able to do these things, being able to still live your life and still incorporate fasting or incorporate a better way of eating and moving on and not feeling bad about, oh my God, I did this and you know what? It's not worth it. And I'll just wait till tomorrow. I'll just wait a week from now. Like Wanda said, Wanda had a festival this past weekend, enjoyed herself, enjoyed the food and the drinks, and then got right back into a fast. And 7 hours into a 48-hour fast, meaning that Wanda isn't waiting till Monday. Wanda is starting today on a Sunday when many of you who might be watching this might be waiting till Monday. And that is the ultimate question I bring up to people every week. If you're here right now, are you here right now because you're waiting till Monday? Are you that person that said, well, you know what? I have this event happening on Saturday. So Saturday, I'm just going to eat whatever. And you know what? I might as well just have brunch on Sunday and eat everything all day too. And here's the thing. There is nothing wrong with enjoying yourself on a Saturday, enjoying yourself on a Sunday. But when you tell yourself you're going to start on Monday, I'm going to wait till Monday, what ends up happening in that brain of yours? And I don't say this thinking that everybody thinks this way, but I've worked with enough people now that I know many of us think in this way. If you are sitting here saying, I'm waiting till Monday, how many times have you done that? If you say to yourself, I'm going to wait till Monday because you know what? This event is happening on Thursday. So you know what? I'm just going to not care about Friday or Saturday or Sunday. And then what happens during the next 4 days? Is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday a day that you just eat whatever you want all day without any regard? There's no more mindful eating. Were you supposed to work out during those days? And on those days of working out, you said, well, you know what? I'm going to wait till Monday. I'm going to start on Monday. So why do anything during that time? Why take care of myself during those days when I'm just going to wait till Monday? It's that type of thinking, it's that type of behavior that will keep you behind. How will you ever progress? How will you ever practice imperfect consistency if you are just treating Monday as your day to start? How many times has this happened? Today is June 8th. How many of you said, I'm going to start on June 1st? How many of you said that? June 1st is going to be the day. How many of you had a birthday come up recently and said, when my birthday comes, that's when I'm going to start? Well, you know what? I'm not going to start on the day of my birthday. I'm going to start the day after because I'm going to celebrate on my birthday. You can celebrate, you can have a weekend where you indulge, but when you start telling yourself, I'm going to wait till I'm going to start over, this day is going to be my day number one, how many days are you wasting before that? I say this all the time. Your life starts yesterday. Actually, I don't say it that way. I usually say your life starts now. Your life started yesterday. Your life started however long ago. You can't keep pushing and making excuses and waiting till Monday, waiting till after you come back from vacation, waiting till your birthday is over, waiting till when you turn X amount of years, waiting till the new year, because you're playing this game with yourself instead of telling yourself, hey, I'm on a journey. I'm on day whatever, right? And maybe the best way to put this is, if today is going to be your day one, if tomorrow is Monday and tomorrow is going to be your day one, well, hopefully that's the last time you tell yourself that's going to be your day one. And the hope is that you continue figuring out what the journey looks like from there. And hopefully I can be somebody that can help you realize that you don't have to keep starting over, that you can take the good with the bad. With that being said, today is day 581 of my journey. I have been doing this now for 83 weeks. Have the last 581 days been perfect? Absolutely not. In the last 83 weeks, I have had ups and downs on my journey. I have had days where I eat back to back. I have had days where I overeat. I have had days where I felt like I was going to burn out. I have had days where I was tired of fasting. I have had days where my refeeds were super long. I have had days where I decided I'm not going to work out or do anything on that day. Did I start over? Did I wait till Monday? Or did I just continue living my life and doing the best that I could during that time? Priceman5 with a $10 donation. Priceman5, I was just getting into my groove. And then there's another donation from Spike. Before I continue, Priceman5 with the generous $10 donation. Priceman5 says, hi, finally fasting fam. Glad to see you all and Jerome again. Priceman5, nice to see you. Had some hard weeks. Refeeds making the scale show jacked up numbers, only for the fast to fix it. Hashtag F water weight. Imperfect consistency has helped. Priceman5, I feel you. And I know, and you know, and I'm sure anybody who's watching this right now or down the line knows that we are going to have these moments. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. And you know what? For Priceman5 to say, I've had some hard weeks and show that accountability is so meaningful to many of us. Because even though you might not think that, I've realized every time I talk about my struggles, people relate because they're like, yeah, me too. I've been there. And you also know that those hard weeks, those are learning moments. Those are growth moments, especially when you can just be honest about it and face it. For Priceman5 to even say that, yeah, I've had hard weeks, the scale goes up, but then sees the numbers go up as well. And as demoralizing as that can be, I've shown it as well. I can gain 5, 6, 8 pounds after a refeed. And then once I get back on a fast, after even a 24-hour fast, half of that water weight will be gone. Remember, when you gain 4, 5, 6 pounds on a refeed, it doesn't mean that you've gained 4, 5, 6 pounds of fat. And I'm not talking to you, Price Man 5. I'm talking to everyone else here. Most of that weight that you put on after a refeed is water weight. Sure, if you overate, yeah, maybe you're going to be adding some fat to it, but you know that weight is going to drop itself if you can get yourself back on a fast, put yourself on a calorie deficit. It doesn't even mean that you have to fast the entire day. Maybe what it means is you put yourself on a very limited caloric deficit and then watch that weight go down. Again, part of what I'm learning is yes, fasting is an absolute useful tool that I love to use because it is the quickest way. It is the quickest way for me to get weight to move itself down. If there's one thing that I know, Priceman 5, thank you again for the $10 donation. If there's one thing that I know is that if you fast and you don't put any calories in you, you are going to drop weight. It's not like I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months because it was some magic type of deal. I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months. Think about that. 80 pounds in less than 5 months. And it wasn't like I weighed 300 pounds that had 200 pounds to lose. I literally got down to a healthy weight in less than 5 months because I knew that putting a long fast underneath me was going to get the scale to drop. There is nothing that worked as well as fasting for me. Spike with a huge $20 super chat. Spike with the generous donation. Thank you so much, Spike. Spike with the $20 donation says, tried OMAD, sugar fast, low fat in the past 6 months. Here's Spike showing the versatility in trying different things. Realize that some things work, some things don't. Getting back on the fasting train because that's the only way I have success. 243 to 200 is the plan. Let's freaking go. Spike, you'll have to keep us posted on that journey from 243 to 200. I'm curious what your protocol is to get down to that. Are you going to be mixing different lengths of fasting? Are you going to be working on the refeeds as well? I'll be reading chat later, so I'll be looking forward to seeing what that looks like for you. I appreciate you sharing what's worked, what's given you success, and what hasn't. For me, it's the same way. I know that fasting works. I know it's tried and true. And for some people, if you're watching this right now and you're like, but Jerome, I can't fast as long as you do. You don't have to. You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. If you've noticed, my fasts aren't even 90 hours anymore. My fasts are less than 48 hours. My fasts have been averaging around 45 hours. I get to eat every other day and I'm still losing weight because I've learned how to control the way I've eaten. Now, if you don't eat 6,000 calories like me, you don't have to fast for 90 hours. If you can eat a regular 2,000 calorie refeed, you're already a step ahead of the game. You could probably even do OMAD and lose weight, but a lot of this is going to be a trial and error type thing. Spike, thank you for the $20 donation. I appreciate the support as always. And here's to 200. I look forward to watching what that looks like for you. You'll have to keep us posted on your progress with that. I appreciate the support. Thank you again. Thank you again. So where was I? I'm like looking through my notes because I can't remember exactly where I left off. Oh, I was showing my stats. So in the last 581 days, like I said, it hasn't been perfect. I have had some good days and I have had some bad days. But the thing about this is no matter what, in the last 581 days, I show up. I am accountable. I am honest. I am transparent about what I'm doing. I am not hiding. I am not pretending that, oh, you know what? Today was a bad day. Let's not tell anyone about it. When I fuck up and I have a bad day and I overeat, I want to make sure that people know. Why? Because for me, sharing that accountability makes me realize I got to get back into it. I need to show up for not only myself, but for everyone else that's watching. In the last 581 days, in the last 83 weeks, I have completed 240 fasts. That means that I have not eaten for 341 of those days. I have fasted on average 52 hours and 13 minutes with a 5 hour and 41-minute refeed. Now, does that mean that I have been continuously doing 52-hour fasts for the last 581 days? No. What that means is that on average, I have been averaging a 52-hour fast. Some of those fasts have been as long as 120, 160 hours. Some of those fasts have been as short as a 16-hour fast. Some of those fasts have been really short because I've been on vacation eating back-to-back days. But on average, I have still averaged a 50-ish hour fast. Now, this average fast is starting to go lower and lower and lower because I'm no longer fasting 90 plus hours. I'm currently fasting for about 45 hours, eating every other day versus doing much longer fasts. But I'll get into that in a second. I'm just wondering here if actually, maybe we'll share this. We'll go into this. So let's talk about then versus now. Let's talk about what I was doing on the first 142 days that got me to lose 80 pounds versus what I've been doing now for the last, that shouldn't say last 4 weeks. This is more like last 3 weeks. I got the numbers wrong here. I forgot to update that. But let's talk about then versus now. This is still a very good way to share this. In the first 142 days of my journey, in the first 5 months of my journey, less than 5 months, I averaged a 92-hour and 56-minute fast, nearly a 4-day fast. That was followed by a 4.5-hour refeed. So for the first 5 months of my journey, I fasted for 4 days. I ate for 4.5 hours, fasted for 4 days, ate for 4.5 hours, did that over and over and over and over again until I got down to under 140 pounds. When I ate, though, you'll see here, I was eating 6,000 calorie refeeds. Again, a reminder to many of you, if you think that you need to do a 90-hour fast to lose that weight, if you're eating 6,000 calorie refeeds like I was, okay, then I can understand why you might have to fast for that long. But if your refeeds are nowhere close to that, you don't have to fast for that long. You can fast for a shorter amount of time, or you can fast in short bursts and have lower calorie refeeds and still lose weight. Again, it doesn't have to be a black or white thing. It doesn't have to be a super long fast followed by another super long fast followed by another super long fast. It can be if you want that. If you want to push hard and you want to get that weight to drop, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, sorry, I'm having an issue here. It says on Facebook. My software is telling me something. Don't worry about it. Anyway, where was I at? I just want you to remember, you don't have to do the same fast over and over. I think a lot of us get confused, or we feel like, okay, I did this fast. Now the next fast has to be just as long. The next fast after that has to even be longer. The next fast after that has to be progressively harder. It doesn't. It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. What it can be, though, is it can be consistent. If you don't get a long fast underneath your belt, then what you need to tell yourself is, okay, I didn't fast as long. Maybe I need to work on my diet. Maybe I need to control my calories better. Maybe I need to get my ass to the gym because you know what? I just got some calories in me. I might as well take advantage of those extra calories. Now, if you look at what my journey has looked like in the last 3 weeks from days, again, these days are not correct here. I should have updated this, but it's okay. But if you look, my fasts are half that time now. I'm no longer fasting for 4 days. I'm fasting for about less than 2 days with a 2-hour and 28-minute refeed. I have lost 15 pounds in the last about 3-ish weeks. And 15 pounds in the last 3-ish weeks are not 80 pounds, right? But I'm also at a much leaner state. I'm also at a much lower weight. And you should understand that as lean as I am right now, I cannot lose weight as fast as I originally did, but I'm still losing weight even as I'm doing shorter fasts. Part of that, though, is because of my refeeds. If you look at my refeeds here, my refeeds are no longer 6,000 calories. I took an average of my refeeds, my last 10 refeeds. My average last 10 refeeds have been under 2,400 calories. One of the reasons I'm continuing to lose weight is even though I'm fasting for a shorter amount of time, I'm no longer eating 6,000 calorie refeeds. I've been able to limit my calories. This is something that I have never been able to do before. This is something that has been new for me. This is something that I've newly discovered. I never thought I had it in me because I've tried this years ago and I was really never able to be successful doing it. Why am I successful doing it now? I don't know, honestly. It could be a number of reasons, but part of me feels like the reason that I'm able to limit my calories today versus not being able to limit it for the last 500 and I don't know how many days, 50-ish days or so, is because I have gotten myself into healthier habits, into a routine, into working out during the days, into eating better, into continuing to practice imperfect consistency, fasting in different lengths, going out on vacation and still trying to eat better. You can get here. You can get to this point. You can use fasting as an incredible tool to lose weight. But if you can also incorporate exercise, if you can incorporate eating better, you're going to be unstoppable. You will find success if you are able to control all of these things. I want you to understand what's really important here is it isn't just about fasting. Fasting is not the only tool for success. The way you eat, how you eat is not the only tool for success. The important thing to understand here is if you think there's only one thing that's going to get you to be successful in losing weight, if you think fasting is the only answer, you're dead wrong because you're going to realize, many people will realize that what I have done doing 90+ hour fasts over and over and over is not for everyone. At the same time, eating 6,000 calories per refeed isn't what everyone does either. I wish I had the power back then to control my calories, but it wasn't something that I was good at doing. What was I good at doing though? Fasting. I was fucking good at fasting. It was something I was very good at. The eating part, not so much. This has taken time to get there. This will take time for you to get there as well. If you're sitting here saying, but Jerome, I can't get past one day of fasting. I can get 20 hours down, but I can't get 36 hours. Listen, if you can't get over a day of fasting down, what does your diet look like? Are you eating way more than you think or than you should be? If it is, two things need to happen here. One, you better learn how to fast better, or two, you better work on fixing your diet. Those are your two options. Why do you think I fasted for that long? Because I couldn't fix the diet part. Was it the answer for me at that time? Absolutely it was, because I could never get the diet part fixed. Is it the answer for me today to still do 90-hour fasts? It isn't. It really isn't. Could I do that right now if I wanted to? I know I could, because it's what I'm good at. Why am I not doing 90+ hour fasts then? Because I've realized that I have to be better at doing these other things. I have to be better in the way I eat. I have to be better with the choices that I make. I have to be better in the gym. I have to be better at not fasting for 4 days and being better at eating every other day and having energy to go to the gym and lift heavy the days after I refeed. These are things that take time. You have to find out what works for you. And like I said, this is why everyone's journey is different. But fasting is an incredible tool. Fasting is such a huge tool that you can use that will find you success if you're able to use it properly and make it work for you. So, where does that lead me? I'm talking about maintenance. What do I mean by maintenance? When I talk about maintenance, I'm talking about the fact that I am close to my goal weight. Let's be real. I have always been pretty close to my goal, but I haven't been able to just stick it there, right? To stay there. And honestly, actually, this is why I feel like I'm so close to maintenance at this point, right? Is because of oh, wait, where did that slide go? That is not that is not the slide I wanted to show. Here we go. The reason I'm talking about maintenance right now is because in the last 23 days, I have found stability in my weight. In the last 23 days, I have stayed in the 140s now. There is no more of this swinging 10, 15 pounds up and then taking the month of doing 65s to lose it. I'm eating every other day and I'm sticking in the 140s. If you look at the highlighted days there, those were the 2 days where I went out to eat. You saw that video. I posted that video of when I went out to eat, and I went out to eat at different places and I didn't count calories and I ate whatever I wanted, but I still, because there was still mindful eating in there, I have kept at a pretty stable weight. And not only have I kept at a stable weight, but the weight has continued to drop down because I have continued to put myself at a caloric deficit because, like I said, I'm only eating 2,400 calories on average during my refeeds, but that's only on my refeeds. That means I'll eat 2,400 calories and then I eat 0 calories the next day. I eat 2,400 calories the day after that, eat 0 calories the next day. The weight is just continuing to drop, 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 drop. And what's so nice is when I eat my 2,400 calories, I eat it in one sitting. I eat it in the evening. And then the next day, I have so much more energy. I go to the gym and I lift heavy to get all of the food that I have eaten to my advantage. I use it to my advantage. So the goal hasn't changed, but the goal now is to stay at this weight and not fluctuate, gaining 10 pounds and then having to fast long periods of time, eating big refeeds to lose it. Now the goal is to keep my weight stable, still be able to eat out and have these great social events that I go to and not fluctuate in weight that way. My goal now is to break into the 130s again, but not only break into the 130s. My goal now is to hit 130 pounds even. 130 pounds even. Now, you might be sitting here and you might be like, 130 pounds? Is this guy insane? Why would you want to weigh 130 pounds? I'm saying this because I see people say this in the comments. The reason I want to weigh 130 pounds is because I'm 5'3". I'm short. I'm not tall. If you look at the average weight for someone who is 5'3", it's somewhere between 120 pounds to 100 and I believe 40 pounds at the heaviest. For me, I currently weigh around 142-ish to 143 pounds. I know I still have weight, excess fat to lose. How do I know that? I had a DEXA scan done. My DEXA scan, even though my visceral fat was low, which is like the unhealthy fat, so my visceral fat is good, I know I still have extra fat to lose. And most of that fat is on my abdominal area. I know that I can lose another, if I can get myself down to 130 pounds, I think I'm going to be somewhere around, I would believe, like 14 or 15% body fat, which means I could probably even push myself down to 127, 126, but I don't know yet. I don't know if that's where I want to be. My goal right now first is to get down to the 130s, break into the 130s, maybe get down to 135, see where I'm at, get down to 130 and see if that's where I want to be. The goal hasn't changed. My goal is still to lose excess body fat and build muscle, to continue building muscle, to continue working out. And that's why for me, being able to eat every other day and get the protein in and get the carbs in and be able to lift heavy at the gym, it's one of the reasons I'm starting to do ADF. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do ADF either. Just because I'm doing this right now, it doesn't mean that you have to. If your goal right now is to get the weight on the scale down and you are good at pushing long fasts, do it. Get it out of the way. Get the fat out, right? But also remember, if you're not able to push such a long fast, it doesn't mean that you can't do a shorter fast and use it to your advantage. If one day you get a 90-hour fast down and then the next day it's going to be a 20-hour fast, well, then what that means is, okay, fasted for shorter, eat cleaner, eat less. And if that's a hard thing for you to do, like it's been a hard thing for me to do as well, the real truth of the matter is, if you cannot control your calories after doing a 20-hour fast and you end up eating 4,000 calories, well, you better fast longer. I mean, that's the honest truth. If you cannot control your calories, you got to get a longer fast under your belt. And only until you can control your calories, only until you can get that part situated, can you start playing around with it. But you know what? You know how you're going to get better at this? And this is the honest truth, right? If you want to get better at fasting, if you want to get better at eating cleaner, limiting your calories, if you want to get better at any of these things, show up, do it every day, practice imperfect consistency. If you do a 90-hour fast, that's wonderful. You would be so proud of yourself. Other people in this community would be just as proud for you. But you know what would be even better is, let's say you do a 90-hour fast, you refeed, then the next day you only do a 20-hour fast. And maybe in your head, you're like, well, fuck, now I'm just going to eat 6,000 calories because I'm just going to start tomorrow and do a 90-hour fast. Is that the real answer? Or is the real answer, you know what? I did a 20-hour fast. I might overeat because I have a really hard time controlling my calories. Maybe I'm going to eat 3,000 calories that day. But at least you're not eating 6,000 and at least you're being honest about it. And then you tell yourself, well, I'm going to have all these calories in me, so I'm going to try to push a longer fast the next day. And then you're going to practice imperfect consistency. And if you need that accountability, I'm telling you, look at the people in the chat. Use those people as part of your community. Use them as your accountability. If you need more accountability, contact me. We can work together. I can be your accountability partner. We can figure this shit out. I'm telling you, what you need to do is you need to show up. You need to be accountable. You need to be consistent. You don't have to be perfect about it. You just practice imperfect consistency. I cannot stress this enough. The hard thing about most people's journeys is that they are too hard on themselves. You are thinking all or nothing. I'm going to do it perfectly or I'm not going to do it at all. If I don't eat this way, then you know what? I'm just going to eat however I want. If I don't fast this long, then you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to start in 2 days, 5 months, 2 years. Do not be that person where you are just starting over and you're going through this vicious cycle of, I can't fast this long, so what's the point of doing it? The point of doing anything is you show up. You are consistent. Think about this. Think about it. Think about it. I cannot stress this enough. If you suck at fasting, your diet better be fucking good. If you suck at your diet, your fasting better be fucking good. Those are the two things that will those are the two things that will show you what you really need when it comes to success, right? If you are fasting and you're good at fasting, you don't have to worry about the diet so much. But if your fasting sucks, you need to be better about your diet. Now, if your diet is super good, you don't have to worry about fasting for as long. You can still fast for a longer amount of time. If your diet's good, you'll lose weight quicker. But if your diet sucks, if you're just awful when it comes to your refeeds, you better get good at fasting. Those are some honest truths, right? You have to fix one or the other. But here's the thing, if you can fix both, if you can eventually come to the point where you have a good fasting muscle and you're really good when it comes to your diet, you're going to be in a really good place. And that is the place that I'm finding myself at right now. I'm good at fasting. I know that. I'm fucking good at fasting. I don't feel, I always say I feel like I'm bragging when I say it, but you all know this. Anybody who's watching me for this long, you know I'm fucking good at fasting. I could put a long fast underneath me and it feels like nothing. And I hate to say it like that because I know that might make people feel like, well, why is it like that for you, Jerome? I don't know why. Why do I suck at eating? I don't know. Why do I eat 6,000 calories? I don't fucking know. I'm 5'3". There are people who are a foot taller than me who cannot eat the way I do. I would fucking eat them under the table. That's how good I am at eating, or how shitty I am at eating. But you know what? When it comes to fasting, I can do a 3-day fast like it's nothing. It feels like nothing for me. That's why it's easy for me. That's why when people think, well, why would you do this to yourself? Why don't you just do this? Why not? You don't understand. Fasting feels like nothing to me. It is easy as shit to do for me. But Jerome, I've seen you gain all this. I gain weight because I suck at eating. That's the hard part. But you know what? I've just shown in the last 3 weeks, I'm getting fucking good at the way I control my diet, at eating. Does it mean it's going to be like that forever? Absolutely not. I'm still going to have bad days. I'm still going to have hard times when it comes to that. But you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to walk away from this. I'm not going to pretend that it never happened. One of the reasons I'm so successful, think about all the videos I posted over the last 2 year or year and a half, or even before that. But if you look at the last videos I made from the year and a half before I left YouTube, one of the reasons that I'm so successful is because when I'm having a hard day, when I'm struggling, I do not hide it. Instead, I post about it. And you know what happens when I post about me struggling? So many of you are so supportive and I love it because I read through those comments and it makes me stronger. It makes me realize I have support. Think about that support. Think about if you are able to be as honest as you are about what you're doing and sharing that here and thinking about the people that can back you up and support you there. That is what I'm talking about. It's that type of support that helps me continue on. So while 99% of those people support me, there's also that 1% that thinks they're a doctor or a therapist or they know exactly what's wrong with me. And listen, I appreciate all of the support and I appreciate any kind of advice that you can share, but also you don't know me. And for me, the way I look at this is I honestly sometimes look at that as fuel for my fire, right? It keeps me going too. Sometimes I'll read through shit where people think they know me or think they know what I need to do. And I'm just like, oh, well, let me show you that I can do it in my way. Anyway, that is how I have found my road for success. It's how it's helped me continue to push on and do what I need to do. I'm going to say this one last time. Fasting is only a tool. The way you eat is only a tool. The way you exercise, the way you sleep, these are tools that you use. Do not make it your identity. Do not think that fasting is the only way that you are going to lose weight. Don't think that eating a certain way is the only way you're going to lose weight. You have to use all of these tools and use it to your advantage. Mix them around, see what works. If fasting was the only thing that worked for me, I would have never walked on day one of my journey. I would have never gone to the gym to lift weights. I would have never prioritized sleep. But instead, if again you're new to my channel, go watch my journey because I have documented the entire thing since day one. I have been walking since day one. I have been lifting weights since the very beginning. I have prioritized sleep. I also prioritize my mental health. Many of us do not understand how important this part of what you're doing is. The psychology of what you're doing is so important because, yes, on paper, if you put yourself in a caloric deficit, if you fast for a certain amount of time, if you only eat these types of macros all day, sure, you're going to lose weight. It's easy on paper. But in practice, it's completely different because if it was that easy, then all of us would be as fit as we could be. Simple as that. I missed something here. Andre, with a $10 super sticker. Andre, thank you for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate your support as always. I don't know what that super sticker looks like just yet, but I'll take a look at it after the live stream. I appreciate your support as always, Andre. It's nice to see you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me see what else I have here. Current fast. Just so you all know, I have been practicing ADF, meaning alternate day fasts. I'm currently eating every other day. Does that mean that this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. But just so you know, I'm currently on a 22-hour and 50-minute fast, and I will be eating tomorrow. I'll probably be breaking around the same time, around 40-ish hours. Also, if you're new to my channel, it's not that ADF has been what I've been doing forever. Yes, I have done longer fasts. On this current journey, my longest fast has been 163 hours, which was 5 hours short of a 7-day fast. I've done longer fasts than that. I've done 11-day fasts. I've done 3-day fasts. I've done 5-day fasts. I've done a mix of everything. Why? Because for me, I'm doing what works. I'm testing things out. I'm feeling it out. If I'm not feeling like a super long fast, I'll cut it short. No regrets, no shame, no guilt, no judgment, just doing what I need to do to help myself. So, speaking of being accountable and transparent and showing up, it's time to do fit check. If you're not familiar with what fit check is when I go stand back here and I show you what my physique looks like, because whether or not I am feeling lean, whether or not I have gained 15 pounds because I went on a 2-week vacation and gained a bunch of weight, I do fit check because it's part of being honest and transparent and showing you that, hey, even if I'm feeling bloated, I want to be accountable. So before I do fit check, I do this every week. I want you to also know that I'm 44 years old. I'm an old man. I'm 44. I have been overweight my entire life. Overweight, obese, morbidly obese, whether I was a child, a teenager, in my 20s, in my 30s, I have always been overweight, obese, morbidly obese. I used to wear a size 38 waist, and that became tight, almost a 40-inch waist. I used to wear an XL shirt, a double XL shirt. And you might think to yourself, an XL isn't that big. A double X isn't that big. Think of an adult XL shirt or an adult double XL shirt on someone who's 5'3". If you have a 10-year-old son or an 11 or 12-year-old son or even daughter, they're probably as tall as I am because, face it, I'm short. Think about putting your double XL shirt on your son or daughter who's 5'3". The reason I had to wear shirts that big is because I had to cover my stomach, because my stomach was so big that if I didn't wear a shirt that was long enough, it would pretty much have my belly sticking out. So where I'm at today, and actually, you know, what's really interesting too, is I'm currently wearing this shirt right now. This is a large. This isn't a large adult. This is a large youth shirt. The crazy thing is I just ate yesterday. You all know this. Usually when I eat 6,000 calorie days or I have 6,000 calorie refeeds, I can't wear my small clothes. Because I've been limiting my calories, I can wear my small clothes every single day, which is just amazing to me. Now, this large youth shirt is small. It's still a little too small on me, but I wanted to wear it because I wanted to show you that even though I ate yesterday and I've been eating every other day, I no longer have to wear my bigger clothes because I've been limiting my calories. So let's do fit check. Again, this is sorry, my water's here. This is a large. This is a large youth shirt. Sorry, I put this here. This is a large youth shirt. If you are not familiar with what a large youth shirt is or a large boy shirt, just go to a Walmart or a Target, go to the boys section and go pick up a large boys or youth shirt. Or if you have a kid, go see if you have one of those shirts. That's what I'm wearing right now. This is a large youth shirt, and I'm wearing these shorts are extra small. These are even smaller than a 28 waist, but you know, even for this, I have to wear a belt when I go out. So again, fit check, 44 years old, 5'3", front shot, side shot, back, side. You'll see here though, right? Like, look, you know what? When I talk about having like another, like I weigh around 143, my goal is to get down to like 130, but like I still have, like I can grab it, right? So I still have fat here. You can see it, right? It's not, and like I know that I can still drop some more. And because my DEXA scan said I was holding most of my extra fat on my abdomen, I know that that's where it's hanging. I mean, I can see it myself. Now, I'll bring this up because it gets brought up every week. It gets brought up in my comments every week. Do I have loose skin? Absolutely. You can see it. I have loose skin here on my neck. You can see how it doesn't even bounce back. You know, the thing is too, is the more I continue to lose weight, as I continue to lean out, I know that this is going to get worse. It is the one thing that I'm mostly self-conscious about. It's not the only place I have loose skin. I have loose skin on my upper arms. You'll see right here. I have loose skin on my lower belly, on my upper inner thighs, and that's most of the places I have it. One of the things I even just enjoy doing is lifting weights. And one of the reasons I do lift weights is because I hope that like lifting weights will help the loose skin. So I do that pretty often. And you know what? When I get down to my goal weight, whether that's 130, 132, maybe even 128, whatever that goal weight is, whenever I get there, I'm sure by that time I will have now kept the weight off for not only past a year and a half, but like when I hit 140 pounds, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I'm trying to keep this weight off for over a year. I know it's been a year and a half, but the first 5 months is when I initially lost the weight. So now I've really kept it off now for like, I think no, not a year, about 7 months or so, I think, or 8 months. Anyway, I'm going to give it like another 4 months before I decide if I'm going to do anything about my loose skin. If I do, I'll probably put a video out about my loose skin as well. I know a lot of people ask about that and they're like, Jerome, take your shirt off. And I do have videos with my shirt off. You'd have to find them if you've watched my content, but it's not the most, I don't feel the best about it. I mean, right? And it's not like the loose skin is that bad. I just get really self-conscious about it. So that's the truth when it comes to that. So anyway, that's pretty much fit check. I just want to talk really quickly about what maintenance looks like for me, what my goals are moving forward. So like I said, my goal weight is to maybe be around 130 pounds, maybe 128, maybe 126. I won't know until I really start losing the rest of this excess fat. Now, when I talk about maintenance, I want you to understand that whatever weight I end up at, it's not going to stop me from going to the gym and lifting. My goal as I'm doing this right now, and even my goal on maintenance, is to keep the weight at where I want to be at, but continue to go to the gym and lift weights 3 times a week. That's going to be my goal. No matter what, I want to lift weights 3 times a week. I want to practice progressive overload, meaning I want to continue lifting heavier than last time and just get to a place where I'm happy with my physique and what I'm doing. And obviously to keep my blood markers good and optimal. They have been. If you're not aware of this, I have now gone to the doctor. I went to the doctor in February and I went to the doctor in July. So I've been going every 6, 7 months. And every single time my type 2 diabetes is in check. I don't take any medication. If you're new here, I don't take any medication. I don't take pills. I've never had surgery. I don't get injections, right? Everything I'm doing has mostly been through fasting, working out, and now more recently, getting my diet in check. If you think about it, it's common sense. It's the shit that that's been preached to us all the time. And I think what ends up happening for many of us is we fall into this thing of, hey, I just want the quickest way to. Here's the thing. And this still rings true. And I don't think there's any other way around it. If you want to lose weight, the quickest way, get yourself at a huge caloric deficit. What's bigger than a 0-calorie deficit? This is why I fast. This is how I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months. It doesn't mean you have to lose it that quickly, but use fasting as a tool. Use it to your advantage if that will help you get the weight off. I know many of us, we want that quick fix. So many of us come in here saying, I'm going to do a 7-day fast. I'm going to do a 14-day fast. Listen, if you can healthily do it, go fucking do it. Who am I to say? I literally did 4-day fast for 5 months in a row. I lost the weight quickly. It dropped quickly. How many people do you know lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months? But not just losing 80 pounds. You might be thinking to yourself, but I saw somebody lose 100 and some. I get it. But like, as lean as I am to get down there, it's just not an easy thing, right? Like I said, if I was 200 pounds heavier, sure, I probably would have lost it even quicker. I'm just saying, when it comes to, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but the one thing that I do know is that when you put no calories in you, you're going to lose some fucking weight and you're going to lose it quickly. That's what I do know. That's what I absolutely do know. So my plan moving forward is to still get myself down to like 130, lift weights like 3 times a week. And when I do refeed, eat somewhere between 2,300 to 2,500 calories. That's my plan. Now, this also means that there are going to be days where I'm going to get invited to go out to eat. And when that happens, I'm going to be able to do that. I have talked about this before, but I'm practicing something called 80-20, meaning that 80% of the time, I'm going to be tracking my calories. I'm going to be making sure I get my protein in. 80% of the time, I'm going to be getting my fasts down correctly. I'm going to be going to the gym 80% of the time, right? If you look at a 30-day month, that's 24 days out of that 30-day month. The other 20%, the other 6 days, I'm going to be fucking around on those 6 days. I'm not going to track calories. I'm going to eat what I want. Now, does it mean I'm just going to go insane and eat everything all day? No. I still want to be mindful about what I'm doing, but I want to enjoy myself without having to track everything, without making sure I get all my steps in and doing all of that. It doesn't mean that I can't still do good things, but all I'm saying is I'm doing something now where I practice something called 80-20. 80% of the time, I'm going to do what I need to do. 20% of the time, I'm going to fuck around. As I say that, there are other ways to look at this too, but I'm not going to get into the details with that. Maybe I'll save it for another live stream. But the way I look at this as well is, let's say, for example, and yesterday I was talking to my cousin. My cousin and I were hanging out for a little bit, and my cousin had mentioned this place that was an all-you-can-eat hot pot Korean barbecue and sushi place. I have never heard of this place before. And when he brought it up to me, I was like, oh my God, I want to go. And I think he was talking about maybe going sometime next week. I don't know exactly when, but I told him, I said, please let me know when, because I'm eating every other day now. And if we do go, I want to make sure that I put a longer fast in. So like I said, it doesn't mean I'm going to do alternate day fasts forever, but all I know is if I do get invited to this thing, I'm going to eat a lot. I'm probably going to eat 6,000 calories, if not more. And one of the ways that I want to be able to prepare for this is to put another day of fasting before me. Now, Does that mean that that's what you have to do? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Why am I doing it? Because I can do it. Like I said earlier, fasting is fucking easy for me. I hate to say it like that, but I say it to just prove a point that fasting is such an incredible tool for me. That is why I do what I do. I'm able to do that. What's also lucky for me, because I see it in the comments, is like, Jerome, how do you eat that much after a fast? I can't eat that much. I can. I'm built different. Jerome, how could you eat that much? My stomach just goes insane. You know what? Mine doesn't. That's why I'm able to still go out even after a 7-day fast and go to an all you can eat Brazilian steakhouse. If you don't believe me, I put a video out about that when I did my 7-day fast back in November of 2023. Again, I'm built differently. It's what works for me, right? But that's my plan. Like I said, fasting is always going to be a tool. It's always going to be my foundation when it comes to this. Wandering Traveler with a $5 super chat. Wandering Traveler, thank you so much for the donation. I knew I saw something pop up there. I appreciate the support. Wandering Traveler says, longest fast completed Saturday at 110 hours. Congratulations, Wandering Traveler. Felt amazing, but feeling guilty I ended it. On to another. Hopefully, you feeling guilty about ending such a long fast was short. Hopefully, you didn't feel too bad about it. I'm proud of you for getting a 110-hour fast under your belt. Hopefully you enjoyed your refeed and you're going to push on to get another one under your belt and get more success and practice imperfect consistency. Hopefully, Wandering Traveler, as you've been watching this live stream, hopefully I'm also getting the message across that all of the other things are just as important as well. Your diet, your exercise, your sleep, your mental health. I love that for you, Wandering Traveler. Keep going. Keep going. Keep us posted. I love that progress. Congratulations. And DJ Cardona with a $5 super chat. DJ Cardona, thank you for the support. Welcome back, Jerome. I've been back. Have you not seen me? Are you saying welcome back after being gone for 2 years? I came back 1.5 years ago, longer than that. Unless you meant that I didn't do a live stream last Sunday, because I didn't. That's when I went out to eat. But thank you, DJ Cardona. I appreciate the $5 super chat. I'm doing 3 to 4 day fasts every week and uploading my experience as well. I love that for you. That's accountability. There you go. You inspired me to make it down 30 pounds. Congratulations. I'm doing this. Congratulations on a 30-pound weight loss. You know what? I love that for you, sharing your experience. Hopefully that might help inspire others as well, motivate others as well. I love that for you. Congrats on the 30 pounds down. Keep it going. Practice imperfect consistency. I love that. I love that, DJ Cardona. Thank you again for the $5 super chat. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. All right. So just to finalize things, maintenance, where I'm at, what I'm doing. Fasting 42 hours, that's kind of the minimum at this point. Maybe I'll do OMADs every now and then, play around with the diet, keep my refeed somewhere between 2,300 and 2,500, make sure I'm in a calorie deficit, lift 3 times a week. I still want to walk 6 times a week, at least 8,000 steps, get good sleep, and continue to be accountable and show up. For many of you, I want you to understand, when it comes to what you need to do for yourself, what your goal is here, use fasting as a tool. Fast long if you can healthily do so, because you know it's going to drop the weight. Eat healthy. Eat balanced if that's what works for you. Limit your calories if you can. If you have a problem when it comes to overeating, continue to work on that. If you end up doing a 20-hour fast, but you eat 4,000 calories, of course you're going to gain weight unless you're an athlete and you burn that amount of calories. But here's the thing. If you fast for 20 hours and you eat 4,000 calories, does it mean that you give up? No. All it means is you hit that timer, go again, and you stay accountable and you show up. Maybe the next time you get a longer fast in. Maybe the next time you don't eat 4,000 calories. Maybe the next time you tell yourself, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift heavy as fuck because I have all these calories in me. Use these things to your advantage. Help yourself grow. Learn from your mistakes. Learn about yourself. If you need help when it comes to that, please reach out to me. With that being said, it's time for Q&A. I'm going to answer some questions. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer everything today. This might be a shorter live stream. We're already an hour and 12 minutes in, but please ask them now. I will answer what I can. But like I said, in the meantime, if you are looking for help, if you need help when it comes to weight loss, fasting, accountability, please reach out to me. If you need more help than what you're finding here, if you need an accountability partner, if you need someone to keep you in check, if you need questions answered, if you need a strategy and a plan when it comes to fasting and what you should do and how you should do it, if you just need motivational support, I'm here to help you do that. You can go to finallyfasting.com. You can sign up and you can have a one-on-one conversation with me. We do all of this shit, right? It's pretty much what you're seeing right now, except it's just one-on-one. But at the same time, I'll hold you accountable. We can put a plan together. We can figure out how to get you to where your goals are. If you don't want to do that, you absolutely don't have to, right? If you're looking for, if you go in my description on this live stream, you can join the Finally Fasting fam. There is a membership where you can be part of the autophagy group. And in that autophagy group, every Wednesday, 3 times out of the month, every Wednesday, we have an accountability live stream. We all get together. We talk about what our goals are for the week. We hold each other accountable. We have a communal we have a communal spreadsheet where we share what our goals are. And if we've gotten there, if we're having trouble, I answer questions. It's pretty much a group coaching session. So please feel free to do that if you like. I mean, if anything, you can just, if you want to support, you can just be part of that as well. There's an OMAD group. Anything will be helpful if that's what you're looking for. And again, I appreciate the support either way. So I think that's all I have when it comes to that spiel. Oh, if you go to finallyfasting.com, I'll put this up here again. I'm sorry, I forgot about this. If you go to finallyfasting.com, you can also, I do sell merch. I do have stickers. These stickers, I mean, I use them myself as well. I have them on my notebooks that I use. I also have hats. Is it this way? Oh, it's this way. Finally Fasting merch, if that's something you might be interested in. Again, it's just a different way to support. This is the Cubs one. This is the Sox one, you know, the Sox colors and Cubs colors. So you'll see it has Finally Fasting on the side too. They're both snapback hats, just like this one is. So if you want to support in that way, you can as well. Again, obviously, no obligation. I just thought I'd throw it out there. That's just my small shameless plug for the week. Universal Being with a $5 super chat. Universal Being, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Universal Being says, 1 week into a 12-week high raw vegan fast challenge. Now, just to add this in here, people who are part of the Finally Fasting fam, we all know that Universal Being is currently on this challenge because this is what she shared with us on our Wednesday night live streams, taking it one day at a time. This is an incredible challenge that Universal Being is on. Universal Being has also completed some other really huge challenges as well. And again, if you are part of the Finally Fasting fam, if you're part of the autophagy group, you will be able to watch all of these past live streams. It's just part of what comes with it. So Universal Being, thank you for sharing with us, taking it one day at a time. So happy to be here. Shout out to my Finally Fasting fam. I appreciate you, Universal Being. Thank you for the shout out as well to everyone who's part of that fam. Congrats to you for getting 1 week down. Looking forward to seeing what the rest of the weeks look like for you. And again, right, part of this as well is whether or not it's a perfect 12 weeks. I mean, if anything, right, it's the fact that you're here and you're showing up and you're doing what you have to do. And I mean, even when you're with us on our Wednesday streams and you share with us, it's so supportive just to hear the progress in what you're doing and how you're taking care of yourself. So I love that for you. Thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. Pempa Lamo with a $10 super sticker. Pempa, I don't know what that super sticker looks like, but I will take a look at it after the stream. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I don't know how else to thank people except for doing this. So Thank you again. Okay, so I'm going to go here and I'll check for any questions if you have any. Mm, let me see here. Again, I'm doing Q&A right now. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask. If there are no questions, then DJ Cardona was saying I missed you last week. I know. I'm sorry I didn't do a live stream last week. But please, if you have questions, ask now. Otherwise, we will call it. Jacqueline says, do you take progress pictures weekly or just use the scale? So I used to take progress pictures. And if you look at the intro of the live stream, I used to do it wasn't a progress picture per se, but I would always film myself walking. And I did that because that was my accountability. Yes, I have taken progress pictures. Actually, Jacqueline, and this is a great way. This is something that I need to talk about more often, but these are non-scale victories. Many of us get very obsessed with the scale and taking a progress picture. And I'll share with you how I used to take progress pictures. You could take progress pictures with your shirt off if that's something you're comfortable with. But even for me, I've shown many people pictures with what my shirt or with my shirt off. But what I used to do as well is I used to take progress pictures with the same shirt on. So I would wear a tight shirt and I would wear it every week and I would take a picture of myself to see what that shirt looked like for me. But I did that for myself. This was before I had my YouTube channel. I did it because it would show me where I would need work, where I was losing weight. But yes, the progress pictures are helpful as well. So definitely continue to use that if that is something that works for you. And for anybody who's watching that, this is also a good reminder that the scale, just because the scale isn't dropping the number, doesn't mean that you're not losing fat. Remember, losing fat and losing weight on the scale are two completely different things. Use the number on the scale to be a guide, but also understand that just because you're not losing weight on the scale doesn't mean that you're not losing inches, doesn't mean that you're not losing fat, doesn't mean that you're not building muscle. You have to take those things into consideration. Obviously, the scale will find its way down. You just have to trust the process. I've seen videos where they say, you know what, if you're not losing in a 2-week period, that's maybe the next time you have to decide, okay, I maybe need to start tweaking things. But maybe what it means is if you're still getting a downward progress over 2 weeks, I wouldn't worry so much about what that looks like. Again, different for people. Something that if we were to work together, and I'm not talking to you, Jacqueline, I'm just saying in general, with anybody who decides to work with me or whatever, it's something that we can take a look at as well. So thank you for the question, Jacqueline. BRB forgot something. Oh, be right back. Forgot something. Says, I'm going to London for a week at the end of this month for a week. I've been doing week-long fasts. How should I handle my food intake when I'm in London for the week to stay on track? So many ways to go about this, BRB. So you're going to be in London for a week at the end of the month. First of all, congratulations on the week-long fasts. Hopefully they've been good to you and hopefully you're getting the progress that you're looking for. Be Right Back is asking, how should I handle my food intake when I'm in London for the week to stay on track? So you and I both know that eating 6,000 calories is not the way to do it. For me, I've started to notice, and it's going to be hard when you're going to be going to London. I'm assuming you're going to London for vacation. I mean, I don't know if you're going on a business trip, but the way you can look at this is you can approach it in different ways. Obviously, you can kind of guesstimate your calories that you're eating. If you want to make sure that you don't gain weight, then you might need to figure out what your caloric TDEE is, meaning how many calories your body is burning throughout that day. It doesn't have to be exact, but if you know what your TDEE is, let's say it's 2,000 calories, maybe it's 2,200 calories. Maybe what you need to do then is eyeball what you're eating throughout the day. Maybe what it means is if you know that you're just going to be grazing all day when you're eating, that you shorten what that refeed time looks like. Maybe you're doing 18-hour fasts. Maybe you're doing 16-hour fasts. Maybe you're doing 20-hour fasts. And it doesn't mean that every day during that week it looks like that. But maybe, for example, if you know there's going to be a day you're going to be overeating, maybe what that means is the day before and the day after, you're more mindful about what the eating looks like. Maybe you're eating things that are more fruits and vegetables and whole foods versus just eating out and eating processed foods during those days because you know that there's going to be a bigger refeed day. This is also going to be hard because the other thing that you might tell yourself is, hey, I'm going on vacation for a week. I know I'm probably going to gain some weight, but I just want to make sure I don't gain a ton of weight. That's the way I would look at it. At the same time, I'm going to remind you that your other levers still come into play. If you're going to be in London for a week, maybe what that might mean for you too is, are you still going to give yourself a step goal? Are you going to make sure that you're going to be working out? Is there a gym that you can go to? Are you going to be at a hotel where there's a gym that you can take advantage of? And it doesn't mean that you have to work out every day either, but if you want to keep the weight in check, if you want to keep yourself in check, maybe it's to implement that as well. I'm not saying you fast for a day or longer because I understand. I don't want to be, when I go on vacation, I don't want to be fasting. But if there's a moment where it's possible, maybe that's something you do. Maybe if it just means you're doing a 20-hour fast for a couple days or 1 or 2 days, it's the way I look at it is damage control. You're minimizing the damage that might happen. I'm going to have to go through this because in 12 days, I'm going to Canada. I'm going to be in Canada for 5 days. I'm not going for an entire week, but I'm going to have to do exactly what I'm telling you. I'm going to have to be very careful about how I'm eating and making sure I don't go crazy that I gain a ton of weight. The thing is, I know I'm going to gain weight when I'm gone for those 5 days. I just want to make sure I don't go overboard. That might be the best way that I can share. If there are other people in chat who have advice, please feel free to share. So hopefully that was helpful, and at least in that regard. Andre, again with another $10 super chat. Super chat. Andre, thank you for the $10 donation. I feel like I've talked a lot during this period of time. I appreciate the support as always. Andre says, Jay, man, you are on fire tonight, and I love it. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm in a good place. I to be honest with you, I felt like controlling my calories was something that was going to take me a long time to figure out. And in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm here now. I don't know if I'm at a place where I could eat every day and control my calories, but I'm still at a place where I thought I would never be. So I'm very thankful for that. Andre says, thanks for the energy. Also, the Finally Fasting family is very inspiring. Andre, thank you so much. Yeah, I try to give energy when I can, but I appreciate the kind words. So thank you again for the $10 donation. I appreciate the added super chat here. So thank you so much. Okay, let me scroll back up. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Unique asks, thanks for being an inspiration. You're very welcome. I started 3 weeks ago and lost 20 pounds. Congratulations, and ended my longest fast today of 119 hours. Wow, there's some long fasts underneath people today. What was it, 110, 119? You guys are killing it. Do you take supplements? Personally, me, I do not take supplements. Did I take supplements at the beginning? Yes, I did. I used to take sodium. I used to take potassium. I used to take magnesium. Sodium, I just took regular table salt. Magnesium, I used to take something called no salt, which is a salt substitute. It's just full of potassium. When it came to magnesium, I took supplements. I can't remember what kind, but I'm sure you could do some Googling. And those are the only supplements that I took. Am I currently taking anything? I haven't been taking supplements for a long time. It's probably been over a year. It's probably been over a year and 3 months, or I don't even remember. Actually, when I was taking supplements, when I restarted my journey, I don't even think I took it for a month. I just took it at the very beginning to kind of help with like the weakness and lightheadedness, or yeah, but that was it. I don't necessarily have a lot of symptoms when it comes to fasting. So yeah. Maybe other people in the chat can share what supplements they take. I don't know if you're taking anything, but you know, I think the one thing that I'll leave here is do some, like, first of all, congrats on the long fast. And if you're having difficulty with that, trying to push another long one, take the supplements that you need to take that might be helpful for you. Some of the things that are helpful for me, even during long fasts, even when I did my 7-day fast, is I'd occasionally have a Coke Zero or a Sprite Zero or a Diet Dr. Pepper. For me, drinking something 0 calorie that had caffeine and had carbonation, I look at that as a hack. That is a game changer for me to keep my fasts going. That's what helped me continue getting these long fasts and getting the weight to go down. So I would say to you, use whatever hack might be helpful for you. Thank you for the question, Unique. Um, Let me see. Any other questions? Sorry. I'm looking at questions. If anyone has any other questions, if any of you have any other questions, please ask. Although I'm telling you, I'm kind of running out of I've just been talking quite a lot. So I guess that's what I'm oh my goodness. Bruce. I'm like looking for questions and I'm just Bruce Wilkie. Am I pronouncing that? Wilke? Bruce Wilkie with a $20 super chat. Bruce, thank you for such a generous donation. You guys with these huge donations today. Thank you so much. Bruce says with a $20 donation, Jerome, your channel is inspiring. I appreciate you. Thank you. It means a lot to me that it's inspiring to you and it's motivating. And I feel like if it can be inspiring and motivating, I can continue helping people. I don't think people give you enough credit for your ability to fill the time off the cuff. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. But you know, even for I know I don't have a big channel and I know I don't have like these huge channels like some other people do, but I will say this. I think I have an amazing community. I think I have a lot of people who are supportive and who are willing to help, and it means the world to me. You have a gift of gab and natural entertainment. Well, I appreciate that. No, honestly, that means a lot. Have you ever considered stand up or act? You know what? It's actually like I've honestly thought about doing stand up, but I don't think I'd be the greatest at it. I do think I would have stage fright being in front of an actual crowd versus doing it online here. But I'll take it as a compliment. But no, you know what? I appreciate the kind words. I'm glad that I can be inspiring. I hope I can continue to be that for many of us. I've learned over time that doing this and just sharing my story has been helpful for people, and I hope I can continue to do that. So Bruce, thank you. Thank you so much for the huge donation. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let me just scroll back up here. It's such a thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to sometimes take compliments, so I appreciate it. Thank you again. Okay, let me see if there are any other questions. Maybe that's it. Okay. Okay. That might be it. If I miss any questions, I apologize. I'll answer it next week. We'll say. Hopefully I can get to it then. But two things. Two things before I go. Number one, I say this every week, and I want you to understand that for anybody who's here, I don't want you to look at the scale and look at that as the end all be all. What I'm trying to say is the number on the scale should not mess with your value. The number on the scale doesn't define you. The number on the scale doesn't mean that you're better or worse than anyone else. It doesn't mean that you're better or worse than who you were before. Sometimes we get into this place of comparing ourselves to people, and really the only person that you should be even comparing yourself to is yourself. But don't be so hard on yourself about it. Don't be that person that's like, but 6 months ago, I was able to do this. A couple years ago, I was here. I wish I was. Listen, your life is going to have its ups and downs. You are going to deal with shit every now and then. You are going to fall off the wagon every now and then, and it's okay. The important thing is, and I don't know how else to say this, but the important thing is when it comes to those moments is you show up. You show the fuck up. If I had learned this back in 2021 when I left YouTube, and just a reminder for people who are not familiar with my channel, I weighed 220 pounds back in 2019, and I went from 220 pounds down to 124 point something pounds. And I did that on YouTube. I showed the progress on YouTube. I got down to 124 point whatever pounds it was back in 2021. And I got down to that weight and I thought I had it. I was good. And then obviously I found a full-time job. I started to get stressed out. I worked out of all the jobs to have picked up. I ended up picking a job as a food photographer. For all of you who don't know, I work as a professional photographer. I work in social media. I became a social media manager and I was also their photographer, and I would have to photograph food every day, 5 days a week. And the stress of that job and meeting numbers, and it was fucking hard. And what ended up happening is I would use food again to cope. And it's how I gained weight. And then I felt shameful. And then I didn't make YouTube videos because I was like, well, I have a full-time job, so this is supporting the bills I need to pay. When in reality, it was just digging a hole for myself. In those 2 years, I gained all the weight back. I lost my job. I used all my savings, and I trapped myself in my apartment because I was too ashamed to ever show my face again. I never even thought I'd ever come back on YouTube. And then when I did come back, I had, right, a point to prove. And of course, I lost all that weight by doing the all or nothing fast for 4 days and, eat anything I wanted. But you know what came out of that was, in the last 581 days, I've realized that I had to continue growing. And the only way I was going to continue growing was by showing up. And one of the things that I reminded myself, especially during therapy, was that I had to value myself at 220 pounds, at 170 pounds, at 150 pounds. Do not let the scale fuck with your head. It is a number that can guide you. It's a good data point. It's a good way to reference data, but it doesn't define you as a person. Respect yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself for who you are today, because that is what's going to help you down the road. At the same time, I am currently 23 hours and 32 minutes fasted. I know I don't fast for as long as I used to, but I'm still fasting. I still hit a timer. Day in and day out, I still hit a timer. Whether I'm doing a 40-hour fast, a 16-hour fast, or a 160-hour fast, I still hit a timer because for me, it keeps me accountable. I hit that timer and I show it to you all because I remind you all that you are not alone on your journey. We are doing this shit together. Look at all of the people in the comments. We do this shit together. We are a community. That's how important this community is to me. This is why I do this every single Sunday for the last 83 weeks, except for some Sundays. I think in the last 84 Sundays, I think I maybe have not done it for 2 or 3 of those Sundays. But even if I don't, I let you all know. I remind you that I'm not going to be streaming for the week. You're not alone in this journey. If you are looking for help, please reach out to me. Please reach out to the community. Find an accountability partner. I am working on things to even get this community stronger. So hopefully I can get to that place as well. But I just want you to remember, you're not alone. I have not left you for the last 581 days, people. I have not left you. I have been doing this since the beginning. I have shown you when I do well. I have shown you when I fucked up. I have shown you when I struggled. I have not left you. You are not alone when it comes to this. This is why I love when people share about their progress and what they're doing and how they've been able to help themselves, because they are practicing imperfect consistency. If you're not familiar with what imperfect consistency is, all it means is exactly what is in that term. You do not have to be perfect about what you're doing. You just have to be consistent. You do not have to be perfect about your fasting. You just have to be consistent. You do not have to be perfect about your diet. You just have to be consistent. You do not have to be perfect about your cardio. You do not have to be perfect about your lifting. You do not have to be perfect about the way you sleep. You just have to be consistent with it. Think about the consistency. The one thing that I've said, and I forgot to say it this week, I have been doing this shit for 83 weeks. 83 weeks I've been doing this. Imagine if you have been doing this with me for 83 weeks, not perfectly, but consistent. Imagine 83 weeks of imperfect consistency. Imagine 83 weeks of telling yourself, you know what? I'm just going to show up every day for 83 weeks. And if I can lose a pound a week, that's 83 pounds down. Many of you would have probably hit your goal weight. Many of you probably don't even need to hit 83 pounds to lose. But imagine if you practice something imperfectly consistent for 83 weeks, how much growth you would have, how much you would have learned about yourself, how much you would have made mistakes and you would have learned from it. Why do you think I have continued to show up? Because anytime I do well, I learn. But anytime I fuck up, I learn from that as well. Why do you think I have learned to limit my calories? Why do you think I have learned to be better about fasting, about refeeding, about the way I exercise? Because every single day, whether it's my diet or my exercise or my fasting or my mental health, I learn something new. I grow from it because I don't walk away from it. I don't run away from it. Please remember that. Okay, that's it, everyone. I'm done. I said what I need to say. I felt like I shared everything that I needed to. So we're going to call it from here. I have a playoff game to watch. You know what? I can't even read the comments right now because I don't want to see if anyone's talking about the playoffs. I have it recorded, so I'm going to watch it. And I'm now going to avoid the chat because I feel like someone's going to ruin it. So I'm going to start waving by because I'm about to catch the game and see where we're at or who won. I'm rooting for the Pacers, just FYI, but I'm like blocking my hand so I can't read chat because I know someone's going to ruin it. So bye, everyone. We're going to do this next Sunday. I love you all. We'll talk soon. See ya.